everyone, my name is Indira and I am a photographer and content creator from the San Francisco Bay Area. And in today's video, I'm super excited to be giving you my top 5 favorite features of the Canon 90D. This bad boy right here has been through its paces with me, and I want to give you a proper review and look at the top 5 video features specifically. I've had this camera for the past 5 to 6 months, and I've been using it for video and for photos, and I gotta say, this camera is pretty damn amazing. It has gone through a lot, and it just keeps on surprising me with what it can do and the capabilities of this aps-c camera. Let's get to why you clicked on this video in the first place, and let's get to the best features that the Canon 90D has to offer for video. So the first feature that I want to cover is the custom function modes on a mode dial that this camera comes with. It comes with a custom function mode 1 and 2, and then the manual mode is your main shooting mode. What's nice is that it's very easy to get to the custom function modes 1 and 2. It's only 2 to 3 slides away from the manual mode, which is really convenient. You can just easily switch to that. For example, for the custom function mode 1, I personally use that for 60 frames per second for slow motion, as my manual setting is primarily and for the most part only on 24 frames per second. Now for C2, I have this for 120 frames per second. Honestly, I don't use it that often just because it doesn't have any stabilization or any autofocus, so it really is for very custom shots that I want, or if I just want to use it for fun. The next best feature that I use consistently when filming video, that this camera has a custom Kelvin setting that you can change to your liking. On my Canon Rebel T6i, it did not have this, and so it made it shooting in this particular room a little bit tough because this room is so warm and it has the same sort of tan tone to it. It was tough to get the look that I wanted straight out of camera to then be able to easily color correct and color grade my footage. And so with this camera, I have it set to 3700 Kelvin, and then when I put it in Premiere Pro, it makes it so easy to color correct and color grade like super fast, and to get things right in camera when you're filming, it makes everything so much easier and faster, especially in post. The third feature that I love about the Canon 90D is that it has digital IS in the camera. Now this isn't in-body stabilization, it is a digital stabilization, but honestly it works amazing, and I love this, especially for having it set to the C1 for 60 frames per second. I have that on the enhanced stabilization, and it makes getting B-roll shots and getting those smooth, even handheld shots so much easier, and it just looks amazing. And when I have my Canon 90D with my vlogging setup, I typically have the digital IS turned on, and it crops in only just a little bit, and honestly it's not too much, especially if you have a wide angle lens. It's perfect for that. And then for my B-roll shots, I have the enhanced version always on, and it makes getting B-roll and getting those secondary shots so much easier. Again, you can do it handheld and it looks great, but if you do want to get more stable shots, having a type of gimbal really makes those shots even way more steadier. The fourth feature that I love about this camera is the 120 frames per second. It's a nice addition to have this on this type of price point of a camera at roughly $1,300. But it also comes with limitations such as not having any autofocus or any stabilization. Now you can have it in manual focus, which is great because this does have focus peaking, so you can tell what is in focus by having it outlined in red or green to your liking. And that does help a ton with making sure that your shot is in focus and also pulling focus if you want to. But again, there are other cameras out there that are newer that have come out this past year. For example, like the Canon R6 that does have 120 frames per second with autofocus. But it is there, it is usable. You just have to put in a little bit more effort to get the type of video or shot that you want. But honestly, it's nice to have that in this camera at this price point. And the last feature that I love about this camera is that it has 4K 24 and 30 frames per second. Now, a lot of the newer cameras that come out that are aps-c cameras, they have 4K, but this has 4K no crop, which is so amazing. So you can film 24 frames per second, which you can use for vlogging, and you can have it in 4K, which is so amazing. And that's what I love about this camera, is that it does not crop in with the 4K. So you can always downsize it to 1080p and then export it to make it look even better, especially with the YouTube compression. But honestly, the fact that it has 4K 24 and 30 frames per second and it has no crop, that's amazing. I love that so much. A lot of the cameras at this price point don't do that. Even the Canon EOS R, which is more expensive than this camera, it has a crop in 4K and is technically unusable. So if you are looking for a camera that has good 4K, this is definitely an amazing purchase, an amazing buy. I mean, that's so cool that it has that feature in this price point of a body. There you go, you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Those are my top 5 features of the Canon 90D. And again, I will be making more videos about the Canon 90D for photography and just other videos in general. So stay tuned for those. So hit the subscribe button and I will see you guys in the next video.